McAllister will start off on the break. And he has got, when it is really on song, one of the best breaks on the tour is Jon. Far from an exhibition of breaking tonight, though. That might be the most effective commentator's curse that's ever been applied.
I mean, I've lost track of the scratches on the break in tonight's group. We're only halfway through the night.
Yeah, and that's one that will really irritate Jon. You can see, mentioned in the first match, he's one who doesn't really give anything away, sort of facially or body language, when he's at the table. His temper is excellent, but about as annoyed as you'll ever see him, really. Scratching straight in off the break for a player like him is unforgivable.
And that's the point. It was his fault. He went straight in that top corner. That's what will irritate him. Eddie's got one shot to play. He's got to play that good shot coming down the table to land nicely on this yellow at the bottom. He's played that shot particularly well. He's left a little bit too much angle here on the one to right centre. Yeah, he has. That sort of complicates things a touch. Just half blocks off the 8 ball. If the one on the bottom cushion has to be your last ball, all of a sudden it's trickier to get on the 8 ball. So that shot coming down the table, I actually think the first shot he left himself just off straight the wrong way. So he's yet to execute a shot perfectly yet. This time he does. That's exactly what he was trying to do, but because of that red coming down, he's not certain to get out here. He is going to get on this yellow at the bottom. All of a sudden, a good shot required.
He just needs to be above the 8 ball, really, which isn't particularly nice. I suppose he could land, if he's close to where this yellow is playing now. It's pretty ideal. Play it up towards the top right.
He'll know how much room there is. If he gets level with the 8 ball, he'll know how much room there is to sort of play with. And if there's no room, then you do have to play up for it into the corner. But I suspect there's more room than it looks. Yeah, he's played that really well. He knew he could go high and clip it back, so there was just that little bit of breathing room. So he's going to deal with the slight issue he caused.
Yeah, all good in the end from the Batman. Solid start as he goes 1-0 in front.
Something to build on, isn't it? Get a good chance on the break and take advantage, and have your own break in these short matches. Try and deal with your next break, and all of a sudden you're controlling things out there.
It's a ball, but it's a finish. Needs some attention.
Really does. Red and yellow together on the top end of the table. You feel it's easier to deal with on reds than yellows. The rest of the reds are easier than yellows as well, because that yellow on the bottom cushion. But I think the red top of the table would be a good breaker, but well, he might be able to do it off 2 cushions here, actually. He's got enough angle on this one to go straight after it. Yeah, beautiful shot.
That'll do just fine.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate not to land better. He hit that well. The double kiss just hurts him, because if he gets the single kiss, he's actually on that red really nicely, and he just gets out of the way, and then he's done. You know, you feel like he's going to clear up from there, but this is a much trickier pot, and he's got to control the cue ball. Good nudge this time, though. Yeah, one good one, one bad one.
It's a really good cueist, as the Batman comes from a snooker background originally. He's got those good fundamentals that help with shots like that.
I like the decision making though. Other players may well have gone away from that, gone, do you know what, that yellow has moved enough that I back myself to get on it better than I am now. But I like Eddie's decision that he's on it, get it out of the way, and then go and win the frame. So good decision, well rewarded.
Should be relatively plain sailing from here.
I think I'd have preferred to come down a couple of rolls there. You take the middle one of the 3 reds, play on the left-hand one, and leave the one on the bottom cushion as your last ball. Has he got enough angle to do that anyway? No, he's a touch straight, so he's having to go a slightly different route. As long as he's not straight, he's not. He's got a touch of angle, just to force it out. Doesn't look to be a great angle. Yeah, it really isn't. Sort of why I liked it the other way around a little bit more. The one on the bottom cushion was a good last ball. You just had to avoid the yellow at the top of the triangle area, and you had loads of margin. This is a little bit trickier than it looks to get good on this 8 ball. Yeah, and pinch the pocket. Very subtle that, but just pop it into the side of the pocket just to come back past that yellow.
And in the end, presented with a very makeable 8 ball for a 2-0 lead over the group favourite. The 3-time ultimate pool champion Jon McAllister is under a little bit of pressure here. 13 minutes and ticking to play in match 2. He's yet to have a shot at the table.
I said in the studio there that Eddie's just going to have to raise it a touch from the first match. He's done that so far. Back to back off the break. Very, very good.
Yeah, it just puts the squeeze a little bit on this Jon McAllister break, which was poor to kick off this match. Needs a good one. Gets a good one. That's excellent. Pretty good looking split as well, at least at first glance.
First shot's the toughest. These yellows are routine. Just the first shot, just got to thin snick and got to control the cue ball. Once he gets in line, should make this pretty simple. Bit short here, but can avoid the reds though. Come 2 cushions. Jon wasn't really worried about getting close to his next ball. He just wanted to make sure he avoided the reds and get in line. Landed on every single shot. He's just landed with a slightly awkward angle. Yeah, even here he's going to have to put some side on this. Gets it on nicely.
Finally, that shot that he played that we showed at the start of the show in that Pro Series 1 final against Phil Harrison last year.
Yeah, just a touch more room to play with on this occasion. But
Yeah,
I had exactly the same thought.
Just dotting the I's and crossing the T's here. Just deciding on which pocket you want to take the ball in. Multiple different ways. Stuns across the face of it. For the middle right pocket, Jon McAllister. He's back in business here in the Champions League. It's 3 off the break between these two. Mentions earlier on in the show when we were speaking to the players themselves. British Open coming up this weekend, first pro tour event of the season. Champions League has been kicking off the season, but it is obviously only 4 players a weekend, and all the rest of it, all 64 pros will be in action this weekend at the British Open, alongside a good 80 odd amateurs as well. First big tournament. It's always an interesting one because we have absolutely no idea who to call a favourite.
Well, we do. We're Tom Cousins, but
well, the last time we saw Tom Cousins, he was absolutely rotten.
Yeah, he was, but he's still a favourite for the tournament. But I get your point.
Sure.
We don't know who's in. It's the first tournament of the year. We don't know who's in form. But Tom will start as the bookies' favourite. There's no doubt about that. Also, I always find it interesting. I do enjoy the Open events, and it's the British Open. 64 pros are seeded in, but a lot of qualifiers in there as well. A lot of very good players in the pool world. Don't count out some of the amateurs. Oh, Eddie. That feels like his first match where he had a straight pot to the corner and essentially just invited pressure from Phil Parkin. This time he's doing it at 2-1 rather than 3-1, and more than inviting pressure. Next time he touches the table, Jon McAllister is trying to make him be 3-2 down. That's what he's thinking. And look at the layout as well Eddie had. That's pretty good, isn't it? You'd be over the moon with that layout on any table, any time.
So I'm really surprised at this from Eddie. And yet jarringly similar shots. Sort of mid-range straight ones that he's just pumped right into the inner jaw, but at such pace that it's going to take. If he'd have slow rolled them, they'd have probably gone in. They were close enough, but hard enough to rattle.
Interesting decision coming up from Jon. I'm interested to see which way he goes, because you'd love to get rid of the red near the bottom right hand corner, but if you take it now, you're going to get better on this ball, which is your hardest ball on the table, than you are now. But if he could have got to where he is now without that one at the bottom, he's essentially already out. Don't get me wrong, he's only got half a shot to play. Red bottom right is perfectly fine last ball with the 8 ball nearly over the pocket. No, he's okay. He's okay.
Just.
Yeah.
At least I think so.
Yeah, it still goes. It's fine. It's fine. He's got a little bit of angle on this red, so he may not overhit this. He may want to just sort of play it in gentle pace with a little bit of screw inside. Thin 8 ball's fine. Just got the side on.
Excellent shot in the end. Just thought for half a second that he gets really awkward, but no, he's all good.
I am a little bit surprised that he didn't go to the bottom right when he was 4 out, because it looked like he had enough angle that he could just screw it straight back down the line, where, I mean, he's got quite a good margin of error to get onto the ball that he was on again, and then there is no fuss whatsoever. Those are the decisions you have to make as a player out there.
Time again, Jon, whether he'd do it differently, but don't worry about that right now. We're Desmond in the Champions League. Nothing between Jon McAllister and Eddie Barker. Just a trace under 6 minutes to play. This one takes control of the group. Booming Jon McAllister break. He's made a ball. And he has a very good looking chance here.
It's not as good as it first looks though. 8 ball's awkward on reds. Doesn't have an opener on reds, not an easy one anyway. 2 yellows on the right hand side and the yellow top left are really horrible on yellows, so he's working whichever way he goes. I suspect he'll go reds here, but he is working.
easy opener, but it's one that you never ever expect Jon to miss.
Agreed. If I'm Eddie here, I'm probably calling my extension and trying to work out what am I playing on off the red nearest the bottom left-hand corner pocket, and how am I getting on the 8-ball? Because that is the key here. It looks like a really easy layout, and it isn't. Back yourself to get straight in on that red bottom left last ball, and then screw back for the 8-ball. It's any angle on it, you'd have to play short position left centre, which is tough. Don't like bottom left-hand corner to the one on the right-hand side. You had to get rid of one of those too early for me. Yellow and 8 will play big here.
Shot.
I just didn't like these two as your last two.
Small gap to find.
Yeah, he'll
on
take
the
it.
red.
Take it. He's going to have a very tricky last ball, very tricky 8-ball. But I think all you can do is drop this in and leave that tricky 8-ball.
It's as good as he could be on it, honestly, from that position.
Touch fortunate to be on that ball. He flicked the yellow he didn't want to flick. But he won't care if this 8-ball goes in.
And it rolls the 8-ball. Dark Knight rises.
Yeah, that was big, not just because of, obviously it gets him back in front, but that was on Jon McAllister break as well. So it was really big for Eddie to get that one. It wasn't an easy layout he had at all.
Such a pleasing frame win for Eddie. McAllister all of a sudden is a little bit under it.
Frame 6, Eddie box break, leading 3 frames to 2.
Sticking with this fairly narrow cut break, tendency to get the 8-ball in motion with this one. Already had one golden break today.
Off that for my money.
Didn't hit that one anywhere near as well as previous, did he? One bad red, 2 bad yellows. Maybe 2 bad reds. Red obviously next to the yellow in the triangle area. The one up near the 8-ball as well. That looks awkward. I don't think it passes the 8-ball. Looks like yellows. Because he can open up the bad yellow straight away. Obviously there's still one on the cushion. Yeah. You take it now. That's what you're saying, isn't it? Just make it. You've won the frame. Miss it and you're sitting in your chair for a while.
He's always been of the opinion, Jon McAllister, that the right shot is the right shot.
I thought he was going to take that long, you know. That looked like there was no pocket there in the centre. Maybe it didn't go long as well. Will he get back to the table with any time to clear up for the draw?
A draw would make things incredibly interesting, but of course Eddie Barker is not interested in that whatsoever.
Have you done your sums here, Eddie? Pot the 5 open balls and leave the 2 at the bottom of the table. Run that clock down. Didn't use the beeps. Got to use the beeps here.
And we know Eddie's got that in the locker. We saw it in the first match where he put in an 8-ball right on the final beep. Almost unnecessarily, really. On this occasion, you'd argue it's much more necessary.
See from that angle, the other red does pass the 8, so that's good. It means these 3 left at the top are all just drop-ins. Again, this is the wrong way to go about this clearance, but he's not worried about the clearance. My word.
He's worked on this, Eddie. You can't You can't just do this in a match. He's worked on this, you can tell.
One
timing his backswing.
I believe 1 second's enough, and this time he doesn't even use the beeps. So, and he needed to use the beeps there.
It was like he got a bit scared from what happened before.
Because he's going to leave 30 seconds here, potentially. If he doesn't land on the next buoy, he leaves 30 seconds. Now he leaves 15 seconds or 17 seconds, so use the beeps this time. Right, not even that, because you play 2 shots, don't you? The match is over. The match is over here.
Oh, what a result for the Batman.
This red goes at the bottom of the table as well, so he might even make the clearance just for add insult to injury.
He's not going to make the 8 ball. He will not mind. A win is a win for Eddie Barker, who's really pleased with that one, you can tell, and he should be. He is a result away from qualification in the Champions League, and he's pretty excited about that. Jon McAllister is not done just yet, but needs results to go his way, and he's going to need to win his next match.